Peter King joining us here on 95.7 The Game. Peter, that being said, and this is something we're going to get into on the show today, Kyle Shanahan was asked yesterday about the quarterback situation for next season. Of course, he's going to dodge it, says he's not even thinking about that. There's bigger things to come. We all know. But if you had to look ahead and look at the layout of the 49ers QB room, I mean, how much can it change based on how things end between now and whenever the season ends for the 49ers? And how would you sort of slot things for next year? And where does that leave Trey Lance potentially?
Well, I think it's easy to sit here and say right now that Kyle Shanahan doesn't have to make a decision. He is going to allow Brock Purdy and Trey Lance to go into training camp next year, and may the best man win. And that's a pretty good luxury to have, the third pick in the draft and a guy who just took the league by storm, depending on what happens down the stretch. But that could all change. How could it change? Look, there's 2 games left in the regular season. There are as many as 4 games left after that. Brock Purdy could, let's underline could, take the field 6 more times before the offseason comes. Now, if he takes the field 6 more times, he's going to win the job, and it's going to be his job, in my opinion anyway, in 2023. You're not going to take the guy out of the game and put him behind Trey Lance on the depth chart after he did what he has done. Whether he wins the Super Bowl or not, his 6th game from right now would be the Super Bowl if the 49ers make it. Now, I think there's one comp in history that sort of reminds me of this, but isn't exactly this. And that is that, when Tom Brady first became a player in 2001, he got in there because Drew Bledsoe got hurt, but he had almost all of the regular season and then the postseason to prove himself. And if you guys remember, Drew Bledsoe was healthy for the Super Bowl that year, and in fact had come in to relieve Brady in the AFC Championship game when the Patriots beat the Steelers. And Bill Belichick had a decision to make coming into Super Bowl week because Brady was banged up. But Belichick knew all along, if Brady's healthy, he's getting the job back. And Bledsoe was unhappy because he came in and he sort of Mariano Rivera the AFC Championship game. But anyway, Purdy is not going to have the length of time to prove himself that Brady did 21 years ago. The difference now is that it isn't like he's going up against a proven quarterback, because Trey Lance is not a proven quarterback. He hasn't proved anything yet. So I think Kyle Shanahan, everybody said, "Ooh, boy, that'll be a tough decision." I don't think it will be. He's just going to let the play determine it. If the 49ers go down in flames in the wild card game, or maybe even in the divisional round, he's probably going to have a decision to make. But I think if he gets much farther than that with Brock Purdy, I don't know. I haven't asked him. And I don't know that Kyle Shanahan will even entertain the thought of it right now, because he doesn't have to. Sometimes in football, people want you to make decisions you don't have to make yet. And I don't blame anybody for asking him the question. But if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm not answering that question right now, in part because I really don't know, and in part because I don't have to say anything right now.